What is going on with all of my people of social media? I am D Venom along with Feathered Friends. Thank you guys for joining us in regard to addiction, relapse, and recovery. Any amount of your guys' positive energy shown on not just this social media platform, but all of my social media platforms are always welcomed. And with that being said, let's get into addiction, relapse, and recovery. All right, you guys, let's thank our newest tribe member for joining the family. Thank you so much for your positive energies and your light. It is people such as yourself that keep this particular platform alive and going. Again, don't be afraid to go tell other M Crescent Moon people out there to come join this tribe today. Myself and the universe would gladly appreciate any efforts. All right, I foreshadow in content previous to this one that I started a new position and I'm in training for that particular position. Anyway, I was going to reach out to you guys a couple of days ago, but I have been so emotionally spent, and not in a bad way, that I didn't even go to my 12-step meeting Wednesday. But I did go Monday, and I retrieved something that I want to share with you guys before I continue on. Anyway, I picked this up, and I'm going to read it to you guys. At the Lambda Center here in Phoenix, Arizona, Lambda and Taros are having a training and distribution in regard to Narcan. This is going to be Sunday, June 22nd at 1:30 p.m. in the main room. David S. from Taros Health, in partnership with Lambda Phoenix Center, will be conducting a workshop on the use and safety of Narcan use and distribution. Please join us for a 1-hour workshop on this powerful tool of recovery. Please bring questions on how to help the next suffering person. There may be an unfortunate moment that you may have to use Narcan. Come and see how your preparation could save that person. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out by email, board@Lambda Phoenix. Phoenix is spelled PHX.org. Again, board@Lambda, LAMBDA, Phoenix, PHX.org. And this will give you more information in regard to Narcan. Now, myself personally, I've learned about Narcan in my training sessions. And from my understanding, Narcan is used for individuals. I don't want to specifically point it towards opioids, but I think it's to bring people back from opioid overdose. And Narcan is a chemical that attaches onto the receptors and reverses the effects of not withdrawal, but overdose. Anyway, we were shown how to use Narcan, and I should have did a little bit more research before, telling you guys about this. But yeah, from my understanding, Narcan is something that saves lives, and learning how to use it properly, why wouldn't you want to go to this workshop? Because it could save someone's life. So again, this particular workshop is June the 22nd at 1:30 at the Lambda Center, the same center that I go to my 12-step meetings. And they should have put the address on here, but if you go to that particular website that I just mentioned, I'm sure it will give you further information on exactly where to go. Anyway, as I said, the past couple of days in training have been quite emotional, and I'm glad that the instructor is not sugarcoating anything. This job, yes, is going to be fun in certain aspects, but it's going to be very, very challenging. And I see why there has been a high turnover in regard to people not being able to handle the job, because there's a lot that comes with the territory, especially with those individuals that require documentation because they have seizures, or they're too sexually active, or they have vulgar jokes. We have to do paperwork in regard to a lot of things. Some people carry EpiPens. Some people take other specific medications, and we have to know how to administer them. Some people have seizures, and from my understanding, we're not supposed to bother a person that's going through a seizure. We're to let them go through their seizure, let them come out of it, and comfort them afterwards. So there's a lot that comes with the territory. For the past couple of days, the instructor has been very emotional, and tears have been shed. There have been things that we've talked about and seen that struck and triggered quite a few people in class, and some people had to leave considering what we were learning. The pictures that we were shown aren't actors. These are actual babies, adolescents, and adults that were physically abused. Some were burnt to the point where skin was coming off, some people were whipped. Some people were burnt with cigarette lighters. Some people were whipped with extension cords. Some people were whipped with switches. It was a lot that we were shown. We were shown how people were treated back in the days that were put in institutions. That was very emotional. Some people were chained up to the floors. Some people were lying in their own feces and urine. Some people didn't have any clothes on. Feeding times were 2 minutes at a time. If you think about it, who eats their meal in a 2-minute time frame? You have to have time to chew your food, swallow it, and whatever else. So for some of those individuals to only have a 2-minute time frame to eat their food is ridiculous. Some people, there were one person to maybe 30 people in a room that they had to take care of. It was horrible, horrible. Some people were beaten. It was just, I couldn't take it. I broke down on some of the things that were shown to me. I didn't leave class, but I broke down, because it was horrible in regard to how some of these people, have been treated back in the days and still are being treated. Anyway, I am floored in regard to some of the celebrities that I learned about that have special needs individuals in their families, like the Kennedys. I did not know that the Kennedys had a daughter by the name of Rosemary, who is or was special needs. They put that girl through hell, okay? And to protect the Kennedy name, they kept sending her off to different schools so that she wouldn't be in the spotlight. And from my understanding, Rosemary started to do well for herself. And it wasn't until she tripped in front of the Queen, when the Queen was alive, that they put her in some type of research. I can't think of the name of it, but every time Rosemary spoke, they scraped her forehead with something. And I believe that this was painful and whatever else. And the words that Rosemary could say, she couldn't say. Basically, she went mute and she never spoke again. And they put her through shock therapy, if I'm not mistaken. They did that girl wrong. And one of the Kennedys wrote a letter. I forgot where he sent it to, but it said in that letter that another country or something was executing retarded people, knowing that their own sister is special needs. How dare you write a letter like that about people that are challenged being executed, knowing that your own sibling is special needs themselves? Anyway, long story short, if I'm not mistaken, Rosemary ended up passing away due to whatever she has succumbed to, and it's just sad. I learned about Aretha Franklin. I was talking to my mom about what I learned, during training about the Kennedys, and we started talking about some celebrities that have special needs family members, and Aretha Franklin came up. And I didn't know that she had or has a son that is institutionalized due to being special needs. Now, I don't really know Aretha Franklin's story, but from my understanding, she was impregnated at an early age and ended up having the baby at the age of 13 or somewhere around there, young. And if we know anything about the music industry, those of us that aren't asleep, we know that sex is a big part of the music industry. And Aretha Franklin was in the music industry for some years with top hits and some of everything else. Now, I'm not saying Aretha was passed along and whatever the case may be, but to have a baby that young, I mean, I can't help but to think, you know, how many people that she done ran through in the music industry and how passed along she was. But anyway, I'm not sure why Aretha put this child in the institutions, but I'm trying to figure out if she institutionalized her child before she was able to take care of her own health, or did she institutionalize this child while she was young, touring, and whatever else the case may be? Who else has a child or children that are special needs that I learned about? Lincoln. I heard that Lincoln has or had a son that is special needs that I think was institutionalized. And I'm not sure if they were institutionalized because of Lincoln's name and his status. But yeah, I heard that this child was institutionalized, and I can just imagine the treatment of some of these individuals. But if you got money, of course, you're going to be treated well. But those that don't have the money, that, you know, have to put their loved ones in institutions, some of them have been, I heard of a story of a woman that was, I think the word is incapacitated, not incapacitated, but incapacitated. I think that's the word, but either way it goes, she wasn't able to take care of herself in no way. And she was in a all females institution, but ended up getting pregnant. Somehow, a male did the unthinkable to someone that in no circumstances can take care of themselves or defend themselves or whatever the case may be, because they were being sexually assaulted. How can someone in a all-female facility that is incapacitated, I think that's the word, that couldn't take care of themselves, end up pregnant? And thank God, a woman that came in to change her her padding or whatever, when they went to remove it, they noticed a face staring back at them, a baby. The woman had given birth and no one knew that she was even pregnant. That's crazy. So we're learning about a hell of a lot of stuff that is emotional. And you guys see why I haven't reached out in a couple of days. If the instructor that's telling us and showing us this stuff is emotional, and she's been emotional for the past couple of days, teaching us and training us this stuff, just imagine how it is for me, especially being an empath. I was so emotionally drained, I didn't even go to my 12-step meeting Wednesday. I came home and meditated and went straight to bed. Because it's a lot on a person such as myself that is going into this field. Is it going to be challenging? You damn right it's going to be, especially the individuals that, you know, inquire medication and whatever else. Some of these individuals are so sexual. And look, they're grown. They have every right to be sexual. This is another thing that we're learning, to treat them as adults and not children. Some of them don't like baby talk, and I hate to say them and treat them like a separate entity because they're not. But oh my God, we're just learning so much, and a lot of it is some heartbreaking ass shit. And just because they come from wealthy families, a lot of these individuals come from doctors, lawyers, highfalutin or high prominent individuals in the Arizona area, don't mean that they're not being neglected. It doesn't mean that they're not being sexually abused. It doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean shit just because they come from, you know, money. You know, we're mandated by the state to report anything that's unusual. Let me tell y'all something. Article 9 is what everyone needs to learn about, not just people that have intellectually challenged folks in their family. Everybody needs to learn about Article 9. If I am not mistaken, Article 9 came out. Article 9 was created to protect those individuals that can't advocate for themselves. People of disabilities, the elderly, people that are mute. Anyway, Article 9 was adopted and approved December 9th of 2002. It was revised October 2009. It was revised again November 2012, only to be revised again March 16th and revised again January 2019. But anyway, this is the truth in regard to protecting people that need that protection, that, can't advocate and protect themselves. And I believe it was a woman by the name of Mimi and her husband that came up with the first facility designated to individuals of special needs and intellectual challenges. Their daughter, I can't think of her name, but she has special needs. And I believe, if I'm telling the story correctly, Mimi and her husband tried to find organizations for their daughter to go to where other people are like her. But they couldn't find any organizations like that because people just back in them days didn't recognize people with disabilities or special needs. They looked at them like they weren't a part of the society. And considering Mimi comes from money or whatever the case may be, I'm not sure if the state offered her a grant to start her own organization, but I do know that they were offered a grant to start their own organization, and they named it after their daughter. And I can't think of what that daughter's name is, but I think that was the catalyst to opening up organizations such as One Step and Beyond and other organizations that cater to people with disabilities and intellectual challenges. Anyway, we got a chance, I think it was yesterday. Sorry. I had something in my mouth and it ended up slipping out. I had something in my teeth and it ended up coming out and got into my mouth and I wanted to swallow it. Anyway, we ended up meeting some of the members because we call them members because we want them to feel a part and not separate them. These people are the nicest people that you can meet. Of course, you had to establish relationships with a great majority of them in order for them to open up to you. But for instance, I seen a young lady sitting by herself when we went to go visit some of the different classrooms that some of the individuals attend. And I walked over to her and I don't know if she could speak or not, but I'm like, hi, I wanted to make her feel a part. And she was so happy. And some of them they treat you like celebrities. Some of them run up to you and hug you. One of the individuals worked for the program before, left and ended up coming back. These people notice who you are based on how you treat them. And they ran up to him and hi, blah, blah, blah. And they gave him a hug. You're back. And they were so happy to see him. Some of these people, they want you to be their best friends. Some people, even though I signed a media agreement not to be in pictures or whatever, I might change that considering I talked to Jeff. I think it was yesterday. Now, Jeff he has a prominent role in regard to One Step Beyond Inc. Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, used to play for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Either way it goes, he had a prominent role in sports. And I believe baseball is where he majored. Anyway, Jeff used to be a sportscaster, if I'm not mistaken, and he's very prominent. And I'm not going to say famous, but he is famous in his own right. Anyway, he kind of gave us background in regard to why he left some of the fields that he was working at and started at One Step Beyond. And kind of like me with the casino, I wasn't at the end of the day getting any gratitude. And that's why he kind of left those jobs. You know, yeah, they were paying good money or whatever, but at the end of the day, he felt like he didn't have any purpose. And working for the individuals at One Step and Beyond gives him so much gratitude. And I was asking him questions about media because I wanted to know how far can we go in regard to, you know, media or whatever. Because if you look on Instagram and YouTube, you will see One Step and Beyond, and you will see some of the members. They are not bashful in regard to speaking their mind. They are not bashful in, look, let me tell y'all something. Just because these people, and I want to get emotional, but I cried the past couple of days. I'm all cried out to a degree, but just because these people have intellectual challenges don't mean a fucking thing. These people are artists, they're singers, they're band members, they're dancers, they're actors. The same stuff that normal people can do, so can these people. And it's just amazing at the artwork that I've seen in regard to, you know, majority of these people. I forgot the name of the band centered around One Step and Beyond, but they play their own instruments. Anyway, we had a test because the state isn't playing. Now the organization may test us, but the state definitely is testing us to make sure we are knowledgeable in regard to the field that we are going to be entering into. We were trained one day and had a test the next following day. They're not playing. And I was so afraid that I was going to fail that test. I doubted my own self. But because I am so chosen for this role, and a lot of us are chosen for roles such as this, I only missed one question. I passed that test with 95, and I skipped over the question that I missed, and I was gonna come back to it, and I submitted the test not knowing that I didn't go back to that question. So the instructor and I went over that question, and they asked me, well, what answer do you think it is? It was A, but I chose D, I think. And the instructor was like, look, we're gonna forget about what you said, and we just gonna, you know, insert the correct answer, and gave me a 100%. And I was so thrilled about that. Today we had a test, and shit, we didn't have a day to soak everything that we learned in. We learned what we learned, and we had a test right after, you know, we learned, you know, what we were taught. And, you know, the state isn't playing. The state is going to test us at every chance that they get to make sure that we're on our P's and Q's, because we're dealing with individuals that have medical concerns, and we have to know how to administer the medication and whatever else the case may be in the event that we are faced with the medical emergency. But anyway, you know, me passing that test just lets me know that, I don't know, I've been so emotional these past couple of days. As you all can see, I have a new playlist that's dedicated to One Step and Beyond. And as I'm, oh my God, not pinning, but as I'm adding videos to that particular playlist, I'm looking at the people that I'm going to be working for and caring for, and I'm just getting so emotional. And I see why the instructor gets emotional at every chance she gets talking about these individuals, because, man, I don't know. Anyway, I have one foot in the door and one foot out the door, because I was talking to Jeff in regard to my podcast, and you guys, if you look at the videos in regard to One Step and Beyond, you will find out who Jeff is, the Diamondbacks baseball player and the sportscaster or whatever. Anyway, Jeff was thrilled in regard to my podcast and gave me his business card. This gives me the opportunity to possibly interview some of the individuals that I will be caring for and let them voice their opinion in regard to being special needs and the way that they're being treated and whatever else. It gives them a chance to, like I said, they're not afraid to be on social media and speak their minds and whatever else. And this also gives me a chance to interview Jeff And it gives me a chance to interview the instructor, Kim. It just gets my foot in the door in regard to the media aspect of it all. Maybe I can get a chance to interview some of these individuals, Jeff or whoever else, and put them on my YouTube platform. There's some amazing things that are happening in regard to this position, and corporations like individuals that can bring something to the table. Now, OSBI, they don't have it to where they can take care of individuals with special needs that could possibly be addicted to drugs. Let's keep it real. There are homeless people that are special needs, and even if you're not homeless, that are on drugs. And they don't have the capacity at this particular moment to take care of that. Considering I am a peer support specialist, it could work for me in my advantage. It could work in my advantage in the future. Just because they don't have that program now catered to individuals that are special needs that are on drugs, don't mean that they won't have it in the future. So this is another reason why I believe Jeff gave me his business card, because I'm bringing forth things, ideas, and whatever else that they can possibly work with in the future. And who's to say that they're not working on that? But tomorrow we visit each campus and we get a chance to meet the members along the way. The members meaning the people that we're going to be working with and taking care of and whatever else. And we get a chance to introduce ourselves and get better acquainted with the individuals. What else did I want to talk about? Oh my God, there's just so much, you guys, and I don't want to give too much away. Oh, Jeff, speaking of media, I was telling him, considering that we need the help really bad, you guys, I was telling him that I have my own podcast and I can put the word out there that we need help. He gave me the permission to do that. He also gave me the permission to go on my social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and here on YouTube, and put the word out there that we need help. They use social media. So, and like he said, without getting the word out there, how would people know about, One Step Beyond and whatever the case may be? And yeah, so I'm putting it out there, you guys. I'm not going to tell you all what campus I am going to be working at. If you hear the word D and you see this motherfucking mohawk or whatever, that's me. Come up to me, be like, look, I heard you on, your podcast, or I seen you on your YouTube platform, blah, 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 blah. It's nice to meet you. But other than that, I'm not sure what the website is. I don't have their card in regard to One Step Beyond Inc. But just go to your web browser, put in One Step Beyond Inc., and I'm pretty sure it will bring up their website. There are they're located in different areas throughout the Valley and in California. And I do believe all campuses need help. They need culinary professionals. They need dance instructors. They need musicians. They need artists. They need classroom teachers. They need drivers. They need people all across the board. And unfortunately, this particular job setting, they have a high turnover. I see why Source picks certain individuals to be in certain roles. You cannot come into this role worried about money. You cannot come into this role. You have to be strong. There's probably the chance that someone may pass away on you due to, their ailments. You may run into a lot of different things. Some of the people may not too much care for your ass. But aside from that, you have to, like the instructor said, you have to leave your ego at home. It's about them. It's not about us. You have to be emotionally prepared for this. It's like working in a nursing home or whatever. It's going to be some trying times ahead. I already know this. But if I can go through a methamphetamine battle and come out on top, if I can go through molestation and come out on top, if I can go through congenital bone issues that I went through and still come out on top, if I can, be gay and still come out on top, if I can go through all of these adversities and still come out on top, I can do this. I can do this. I just have to emotionally prepare myself. And considering what the instructor has been showing us and teaching us the past couple of days, I didn't think I was going to be emotionally prepared for it. Like I said, a lot of these pictures and stuff that we were shown in videos are not actors. These are people that have been physically abused in whichever way possible. And this was shown to us. And, and like I said, we're mandated by the state to report anything that looks unusual. And if we don't, we can get in trouble. So this is some serious shit, you guys. So if you have a heart, and if you're empathic, especially if you have this letter M and that crescent moon, we need you. That's just the bottom line. We need you. These people that are intellectually challenged and have special needs need you. And I don't know any other way to say it. We need your assistance. We need your light. And I knew that my instructor had that letter M and that crescent moon on her palm. And we had a break, and it was just on my head while, during break to go look at her palm. And after break, I went inside and I was talking to her, and I'm like, let me see your palm. And she looked at me like I was crazy. My instructor keeps it real, okay? After every sentence, she's like, amen, amen. And she'd be cracking us up. But anyway, she turned her palm upward, and I looked at it and I seen that M. And I said, could you put your palm together? And I seen that crescent moon, and I seen, I seen it. Y'all see how that crescent, how it lines up? That's exactly what she had on her palm. And I'm just like, you are so chosen. And I told her to start looking up videos in regard to the crescent moon and the letter M on the palm. And you will be amazed at who you really are and why you are pretty much chosen for this role. And I took a moment for myself, and I got emotional, and I had a conversation with Source and the spirits and the universe. And I'm like, thank you for putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I am chosen for those roles that other people just, they in a million years cannot fulfill. And even though I know this is going to be hard moving forward, I'm so thankful and so grateful that I am put in this particular position to make change and to serve. There was once upon a time, I was serving Satan, and I was serving that methamphetamine pipe. I was serving that methamphetamine pipe, and I was on my knees serving men, and I was just doing the most. Now I'm in a position where I could truly serve people. I told you, I didn't think that I was going to get emotional. I thought I cried all this shit out a couple of days ago, but I see why my instructor gets so emotional, because this is some real shit. There was once upon a time when I was serving Satan, and I was twisting that methamphetamine pipe and picking up scallywags from the, and having sex and whatever else the case may be. And I was just serving in the wrong way possible. And now I'm serving in the right way, and it feels so good. And I'm not even serving these people yet. I'm still going through training, but I already feel like I'm doing for them. And just imagine what I really start doing for these individuals and taking them on outings. And if I'm not, LSA is life. I'm a LSA. Life something. But I'm going to be teaching these individuals math. I'm going to be teaching them English. I'm going to be teaching them a lot of different things. And, I'm happy to have that. And the funny thing is, it all comes together for me. The funny thing is, my angelic numbers kept telling me I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to be in a specific role, helping people. Yeah. And I'm going I'm going to be a leader. I'm going to be helping people. And I don't know, words just can't describe how I feel being chosen and put into this role. And as you guys can see, the tears and everything is emotional. You know, these people need advocates. These people need you. These people need us. So please go to One Step Beyond's website and fill out an application. We need your assistance. We need teachers. We need culinary artists. We need artists to teach them how to paint and draw. But they already know how to do that. We just need to enhance that. Do y'all know that some of these people get their artwork flown to San Francisco, and a lot of popular art galleries, and their artwork is being sold for really high prices? These people, I mean, oh my God, they're some talented individuals, to say the least. But anyway, I come home and my mom mailed me out something that I sent her, and confirmation from the universe. Y'all see that 1010? And I tell my mom, I'm just like, do you not realize that the cost of the postage was 1010? And it slipped past her. You know, people that are still asleep don't get it. I mean, I hate to say it about my own mom, but she's still asleep. And my family is very spiritual. We come from spiritual lineage, obviously. And I just hate that some people are just still sleeping. They just don't see it. But that's universal confirmation. I'm in abundance. I'm in my spiritual chosen path, serving, even though I'm not doing it yet. I'm in training. Everything's in alignment. I am coming across the people that I need to come across. You guys, I have so much stuff. Another magazine reached out to me for an interview. I have people that want me to interview them on my other platform, Podmatch, that I need to get in contact with so that they don't think I'm bullshitting. There are so many positive things that are coming my way, including this job. And I'm not really doing anything. Now that I am truly in alignment with the universe, I'm being so blessed. And now that the letter M in the crescent moon has been activated, there's a video that I watched earlier, and it was talking about what I'm putting in my body. And so many people think that what they're going through, especially we chosen ones, it's all about this realm. No, everything happens in the spiritual realm before it happens here. And I get it. A lot of the foods that I'm putting in my body is clouding my spirituality. Eating meat from animals that have been tortured and whatever else is not what I'm supposed to be putting in my body. And I've told people the podcast, lately I've been having an issue eating meat. And I made chicken the other day and I couldn't eat it. I threw the piece that I had in the garbage. All of that is going against my spirituality. And anyway, that's a whole nother story, but let me show you guys, if I haven't showed you. I got my badge. The whole class got their badges today. And this will get me in the doors of the facilities and whatever else I need to get into. So I'm on my way, you guys. I'm on my way to fulfilling my spiritual contract in a lot of different ways. And yeah, so again, look up One Step Beyond Inc. and fill out an application today. We need you in the Arizona area and we need you in the California area. And we're expanding. I told them that I'm a peer support specialist. And if I haven't talked about this, imagine all of the people that are homeless that are on drugs and stuff that need assistance. You know, they just don't have the capacity to do it yet. But it's like Jeff and Kim, the instructor, said, just because it's not in the works now doesn't mean that it's not going to be in the works in the future. Another reason, you know, anyway, I'm just on my way to so much greatness. I have Jeff's card in regard to the media aspect of it all. I got interviews and stuff from my podcast and whatever else, and I'm being recognized in that aspect. So many beautiful things are happening. And I told you, my people of addiction, I told y'all, once I reach my recovery phase, beautiful things in regard to magic is going to happen. And so much magic is happening in a positive way. I'm overwhelmed. And man, anyway, I'm going to end this because I don't want to keep you guys for too long. But again, we need your assistance. Please fill out an application and help One Step Beyond Inc. What else do I want to say? I guess that's pretty much it, you guys. Spiritual hug. Thank y'all for listening to me. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, look up One Step Beyond. Look at the people. You know, they're talented. They're beautiful. And yeah, once again, we need your help. All right, you guys. I will keep y'all updated. Tomorrow we go to each campus to meet the members, and I'll let you guys know how that went. And until then, namaste.